Hello, everybody. I'm Susan Kennedy. I take women from pissed, blaming, betrayed, and the brink of divorce to being really connected, forgiven, closer than before, and being treated the way you've always wanted to be treated. Now, let's talk today about this thing called betrayal, because this gets a lot of people hung up for a long time. You know, there's no wonder that 50% of women and a third of men, when they get divorced, never get over their ex. And a lot of it has to do with this feeling of betrayal. And if you're still in a marriage and you're having this feeling, chances are you're wondering, do I have a good man? You probably think you do. And is this something that I want to save? Is it something I can save? Is there anything I can do about it? The answer is, within you. But let's talk about the thing called betrayal, okay? Betrayal hurts. That's the main feeling, is hurt. It feels like a deep hurt, okay? But let's unravel our thoughts around that, because we're in control of our thoughts. So what are some thoughts around your betrayal? For me, it's how dare he do that? How could he do that? I would never have done that to him. These are all the angry high horse things I talk to my friends about, when it happened to me. And that just kept me in that angry state when I didn't have to be there. So I'm going to even unravel these thoughts further, because what I know for sure is every person on the planet is born with innate gifts, inherent innate gifts. Our soul comes in, and I'm not going to say we have a purpose or a mission, but we all have our unique set of values, which are our highest priorities in life. Why do some people want to go to the moon and other people want to go to the depths of the ocean? And I could care less about going to either one. So they have important values and desires that I don't have, and you have values and desires that your husband doesn't have, or your partner, or whoever we're talking about that has betrayed you. So when you realize that people only live to their highest values, they don't live to your highest values. They live to their own highest values. This can help unravel some of that. And from my experience with my husband, his highest value was respect. And it was respect in regard to his career, earning power, and status at work. A lot of men are like that, but not all. And for me, I was in corporate for 20 years. And it wasn't that I didn't care about respect. I felt very respected, so that wasn't a problem for me. What I was craving in my highest values was fulfillment. That was important to me. So when I watch my husband, I'm thinking, you're just going for the money, come on, where's your fulfillment? Or, so I was looking at him in terms of my highest values, and I couldn't see that he needed to come home and have me and my feminine powers, and appreciating the gifts that he brings us. The gift of the beautiful home, and the the parties that we got to go to, and that kind of thing. And it wasn't that I didn't appreciate him, but sometimes I just never acknowledged them, because I thought that's just what it was. And I kind of felt like that was superficial, but now that I can see it in terms of his highest values, I totally go out of my way to respect that, because I really do respect it and appreciate it, because he has grown himself, and he has done some amazing things in his career. So betrayal, first of all, the one who does the betraying, the perceived betraying, is only living to their highest values. And when it crosses a line with our highest values, and what we thought should be. We had an expectation that when we got married, this didn't happen, whatever this is in your case. Then having an expectation, our expectations are always going to be busted. So if we're living to expectations, I expected in my 50s not to have that come up. You know, I expected to live my life and have all the luxuries and comforts that I had. Um, and that was a fantasy in my mind. It's a fantasy in everyone's mind. And if you really think that you are entitled to a comfortable, good life with a husband and a wife and so many kids and the house and all that stuff, that's an illusion. There is no safety, there is no security, there is no comfortable life, because that's your comfort zone, and inside your comfort zone is a dangerous place to remain. And I was there. I stayed in my comfort zone for years. So that's one thing I want to share. The other thing that was huge for me is when I got to see where I had betrayed myself for many, many years. Number one, I was working in a career that was not fulfilling. I would come home angry at night, resentful. I was more resentful. You know, when my son was born, I love my son, but I became more resentful because I'm working all day, driving, you know, an hour and a half each day, and I didn't have time for me. I lost myself in there and I became angry and resentful instead of doing something about it because honestly, I didn't know I had any choices. And I can see clearly now that I had choices. We always have choices. What do I want to share next? When we live, everyone know what archetypes are. When we live from our child archetype energy, you know, we'll do anything for, well, it is about safety and security and asking permission. I didn't even ask permission. Could I go do something else because I'm not happy now? But actually, at one point, I thought I would go start my coaching career, but my husband wouldn't allow it. I'm like, I'm a grown woman. I'm a strong woman. I have a child, and I'm asking permission to live my life in my values. That's where I betrayed myself the most. I didn't speak up a lot of times. You know, anytime you're a people pleaser, which I never would have acknowledged back then, because I was a strong one and I was independent, but I would avoid a conflict like crazy. If you avoid conflicts, you're not being honest with yourself. I was a martyr. After all I did for him, and he goes and does this. He didn't want a martyr. He wanted a wife. He wanted a woman. You know, all the things we think we should do, we think we should be about. Be yourself, right? And then the prostitute archetype. Everyone knows the prostitute sells her soul for what? Money, security, safety, approval. You know, I just wanted to get along in my marriage and get through whatever painful period we were going through and come out the other side. But I wanted to do it stuck in my comfort zone. Guess what? My husband gave me my biggest gift. He gave me the stick of dynamite to put under my butt to become who I really am and step into to more of what I can be. And that was huge. And I am so grateful. So when I go back to that betrayal now, I don't get angry. I'm grateful. I can help you get that to your core because this is the work that I do with women, and it's beautiful work. And I just know chances are if you think you have a good man, you do. One more thing. I thought, oh my gosh, he needs to change. He did wrong. And then I got to the point where I realized he's not going to change. So the only person I could change was me. And so I set out. I just made a conscious decision after connecting with 3 divorce attorneys and not really, I wasn't happy with the answers I was getting. Plus, I really wasn't certain that's what I wanted to do. So I just decided I'm going to figure out who I am and what's going on with me. And so I did that. And you know what? That's really been the biggest gift too. He ignited the fire, and I allowed myself finally to take that journey that I hadn't allowed myself my whole life. So I feel like, in a way, growing up, I'm not the child anymore. I make my own decisions and I allow myself what I want. you know, we're all going to be the child prostitute, the martyr at some time, but I catch myself now. I laugh. I say, okay, somebody else do dishes tonight. I'm not doing them. They're there in the morning. I don't care. So there's things you can do. There's a lot of work you can do on yourself. And the good news is when you do the work on yourself with no expectation of anybody else, everyone around you changes. It may not be what you think or how you want, but everyone around you changes. And for me, they changed for the better. I changed for the better, I think. I speak up for myself. I ask for what I want. And my husband has been there all along, asking me what I want, and I won't tell him, because now I let him do nice things for me, take me to nice dinners, where before I'm the one saying, well, we can't afford that or whatever. So I'm living in my values. He's living in his values. I honor and respect his values, and I communicate with him in terms of his values. So I'm just saying, what's possible for you? If this was possible for me, I know it's possible for you, and I can help you walk this path. If you want to save this marriage, just don't be attached to an outcome, because there's never a guarantee. It's 2 people involved. But the good news really is once you invest in yourself in this way, nobody can take it away from you. And your whole life will be better for it. Everyone in your life will be better for it. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. Betrayal and the opposite side of the hurt part, and how to look at betrayal. And then I don't know what we'll talk about tomorrow, but I will come back tomorrow. But in the meantime, go and light up your life.